England is great! If you're a foreigner, if you don't want to pay your way and live for nothing, come to England. Look, it's got lovely green hills. You'll love England. You don't need money, you don't need a passport, you don't even know how to speak English. We'll just look after all that for you. England's great. I think it was 1973 when Teddy signed us into the common market. He said on that day that being a member of the common market would never ever affect our sovereignty or ability to govern ourselves. In 1974 I started work. When I went to work, one of the main topics of conversation was our crash helmet laws. Sikhs who wore turbans wanted the crash helmet laws changed to suit them and exempt them from having to wear a crash helmet. Everyone was laughing their head off. They said it'd be laughed out of court, but it wasn't. And England's done nothing but bend over backwards to change its laws and accommodate any immigrants on every level ever since. England's great for being a doormat. Like I say, you don't need a passport, you don't need money, you don't even need to be able to speak English, because we spend billions on translation for you. And we'll give you income support, a council flat, and any children you've got still living abroad, we'll pay you income support to support them as well. England's great. English government sold the Mini brand to the Germans. The Germans invested in the product, causing lots of industry for their own country and making a massive export opportunity, which they're cashing in on to this day. England's great for short-sightedness and stupidity in government. Did you know that in England only 1 in 7 school children speak English as their first language? And our English Air Force, the Royal Air Force, has changed its uniform to accommodate Muslims. They can now wear an RAF regulation hijab. You'll see a picture of it at the end of this film. England's great at being a doormat. 1 in 10 of the entire English population now have been born abroad. When we pay our tax in England, it covers things like police. And when we pay our council tax, it covers things like rubbish collection and road repairs. And when we pay our national insurance, that also goes forward to government-funded enterprises. I don't know why we bother though, because if we were immigrants, we could just turn up having paid nothing into the system and benefit from it more so than those that have made it in the first place. England's great. I've got to tell you about the story of Cody Stott. She was a 14-year-old schoolgirl in Salford. She couldn't understand the tutorial she was in because it was not being held in English. She asked the teacher if she could be sent to a tutorial where they spoke English and where she could understand. The tutor called our English police, who came directly to the school, arrested Cody, took her shoelaces off her, took her necktie off her, took her fingerprints and imprisoned her for 4 hours. You think the police force in this country is here for you? Think again. English police are great, aren't they? My stepson was mugged recently by a black man in fish ponds, brandishing a claw hammer and demanding his phone and his wallet. He reported it to the local police. They told him it was not uncommon in that area and there was nothing they could do. Abigail Howarth applied for a job in the Environmental Agency. She was told they couldn't proceed with her application if they only wanted people from ethnic backgrounds. She had to be black, Asian, African / other, and she wasn't of the right ethnicity to work in a government-funded agency in England. She was, however, white, of white parents, and born in this country. That's inverted racism for you. England's great for inverted racism. We're a religious country in England, very Christian. It's a Christian country. The head of our church, though, thinks we should incorporate Sharia law from now on in parts of England and incorporate it in parts of our English law. Well, that shouldn't be difficult. Just look at this countryside behind me. It's great. England's great. But in England, a nurse can't say a prayer for someone in her care, or she'll be taken to court, and the English police and the English judicial system will follow it up with all vigour. England's great for killing off Christianity. In February 2009, the Lisbon Treaty was ratified. Trouble is, no one in England has ever had a vote to say what they think about the Lisbon Treaty or the Common Market or any of the other titles it's had over the years. Not once, on any level, have we been able to vote on it. The funny thing is, the government are trying to ban anybody who says anything against all these regulations, and yet, when you think about it, they're not even an elected government. If you're being governed by a government who's had less than 15% vote in the last general election in 2009, I think you'll find that's not a government, that's a dictatorship. Most ordinary people in England expect people in office and high government positions to do their job honourably, but they don't. Recently, all the MPs, for example, denied en masse that they were fiddling their expenses. But when the Telegraph published irrefutable evidence of their fraud in 2009, they all admitted it. Comes to something when you can't even trust your own MPs to tell the truth. And when they're all lying en masse together, there's cause for concern. England's great for lying and corruption at high office. In England, a 58-year-old man ran out into his garden to protect his son, who was being beaten by 3 people. He was later arrested and charged with attempted murder. Thugs and thieves are protected by law, but you're not. You're just an Englishman. When you're arrested on an attempted murder charge for protecting your own son on your own property, I think that's an infringement of our civil liberties. I think any burglar or thief foregoes any of their civil rights as soon as they overstep the mark and enter your premises with an intention to steal or hurt you. In West Ham, a 1,200-seat super mosque is being built. It flies in the face of any common sense and any planning regulations. It's bankrolled by Arabs from Saudi Arabia. The Muslims wouldn't speak directly to our planners. They hired highly paid experts because they're not allowed to speak to non-believers of the Muslim faith. Did you know that English Liberals are calling for all reference to Merry Christmas to be removed from our Christmas cards? Wait a minute. Christianity is this country's belief. It's a Christian country, isn't it? Having said that though, the Royal Mail have already agreed not to print the words Merry Christmas on any stamps. England's the most stupid country in the world, really, I think. And we're the most apathetic when it comes to defending our religion. Does the name Margaret Hayward mean anything to you? She was a highly respected, highly experienced, state-registered nurse. She worked in old people's care homes. She tried to complain on behalf of the people in her care that they were being left covered in excrement, not properly fed, not even given enough water to drink. A few of them died because of this neglect. She did flag it up, as I say, but was constantly ignored. In the end, she was forced to go to the television programme makers Panorama. She concealed a secret camera and brought the ugly truth home. When the Panorama show was aired, everyone was shocked and dismayed. And you would have thought that was a really commendable thing to do for a nurse with a real conscience. The British Medical Council didn't think so though. They struck her off immediately and took legal action against her. Something about privacy laws being broken. Talking of hospitals and their hygiene, or lack of it, England had the most homegrown cases of MRSA in the whole of Europe. Our hospitals were filthier than those in Czechoslovakia, France, Spain, Yugoslavia, wherever you think to mention. We were last, we were the worst, we were the most unclean hospitals in the whole of Europe. MRSA is a flesh-eating disease that causes people to have their limbs removed. And it can be cured 100%, totally eradicated, just by basic hygiene. There's a Home Office document called the Asylum Seekers Tenancy Agreement. And in that agreement, it spells out the fact that immigrants will be housed, they'll be having all their gas and electric bills paid, they'll have a telephone provided, the phone bill will be paid, they'll have a television and television licence provided, and that'll all be paid for. And it'll be soft furnished in every room, and the double glazed windows will be cleaned every 12 weeks without fail. That's what you and I are paying for asylum seekers in this country. At a time when old age pensioners are in fuel poverty and the trade deficit is skyrocketing, and we're paying £40 million a day to be in a union we don't want to be in. England's great at totally funding immigrants' dwellings and all their bills. We're the only member of the European Union that agrees and abides by the laws and rules it makes. France are in contravention of about 45 of the regulations that they've just ignored. Nothing's ever done to them, so why does England bother? A recent BBC poll showed that indigenous birth rates in this country are down by 64%. But immigrant birth rates have risen by 44%. You can do the maths. I'm not a mathematician. This just doesn't make sense, even on a fiscal basis. Never mind racism. Actually, I don't think I am racist, and I don't think I'm anti-British. Self-preservation is an ordinary, sensible instinct. It shouldn't be a political belief. To me, it's like a mountaineer soaring through the very rope that holds his life. But it just seems to be in our docile English nature to accept it all and accept the stupidity of government after government as they just destroy the freedoms that took so long to earn and the heritage that took so many years, and they're going to decimate it. They're going to throw it away within a decade. The trouble is with people like Harriet Harman and Yvette Cooper and all the other politically correct thought police, what they're actually doing is stopping people have an open discussion on common sense things like this. There's a word for that. Oh yeah, it's suppression. And suppression has caused many a bloodbath in the past. The 1986 Tory Public Order Act actually gives police officers in this country the right to arrest us for saying something that officer deems unfit. Has anyone even heard of that regulation? I hadn't. It's the politicisation of our police force that's so sinister. And the young up-and-coming police officers, who are all already politically correct, know full well that if they say anything to question it, they put their careers in jeopardy. Industry and trade is how anything pays its way. It's how a country pays its way. It's no different than a household expense sheet. You have to be bringing something in, making something to sell, taking something to market. We threw away all our coal mining, we threw away our shipbuilding. But if we're not supplying something, everyone thinks it's going to be okay, and they all say, oh, well, let's retrain, let's become a part of the service sector. But the service sector is just like selling beef burgers in a service station, where a country like England used to make the equivalent of the trucks that used to drive down that motorway. This tree behind me is dead as a doornail. Do you suppose it happened overnight? We are in real danger of losing our basic right of freedom of speech in this country, and we're so docile that we're doing nothing about it. I'm not a politician, and I'm not educated, but I do have a voice, and so do you. And if you don't start using that voice to object, there'll soon come a day when you won't be able to object, because having an opinion will have been outlawed by a politically correct government. Who knows? If we all started waking up and finding a voice, perhaps we'd find that British solidarity that served us so well in the past. Perhaps we could reclaim some of that commerce that England was first built on, instead of throwing it all away, like we do with countless brands and countless factories, allowing them to shut. This country is going to the dogs, and unless you do something about it, the days are numbered.